day out. But that closeness never left us. Whenever we met, there was always a twinkle in our eyes, in recognition of all the great times we had together. So when Rob was diagnosed with motor neurone disease, it wasn't a surprise how everyone rallied. We were all floored by the news, as was everyone connected with Leeds Rhinos and rugby league in general. But as soon as that bat signal went up, the call was answered by many. We couldn't even begin to imagine what Rob was going through, but we wanted to be the best friends possible and support him in whatever way we could. We were all certain of one thing. If it had happened to any of us, the reaction would have been the same, and Rob would have been right at the front of the queue, giving everything he had for his mate, just as he did on the rugby field. Rugby league isn't the biggest sport in the world, but it's a very special one. What it's doing now for Rob is what it's always done, and what it always will do. So many members of the rugby league family have pitched in and done wonderful things. But Rob's courage has touched thousands of people beyond the sport we both love. He's inspired an army, which is doing everything it can to raise money and awareness of MND, so that one day a cure will be found. Rob's a shy bloke, was never one for the limelight. So for him to open up his life for all to see was a remarkable thing to do. Lots of people are going through tough times at the minute, what with COVID. But I hope Rob's story makes people reflect and provides some perspective. However dark things seem, there are people who care and want to take some of the burden. When a friend hits a rough patch, it can bring out the best in you. And time is precious. So it's best to be positive, as nice as possible, and fit in as much as you can. Every time I talk about Rob on camera, I get emotional. But every time I see him, he's got a big smile on his face. He still gives off so much energy, and I feel like a better person for being in his company. When I remind him of some funny story, his eyes sparkle, his shoulders shake, and tears of laughter stream down his face. All these years later, and despite how tough his life has become, he's still reveling in those old pranks he played. I was lucky to have Rob as a teammate. I've never been prouder to call someone a friend. Prologue. Grandad Bob never missed a game when I was growing up. He'd stand on the touchline in all weather, usually grey, often raining, and clap every time I got the ball. Mum says he always thought I'd be something special. Truth be told, even if I'd ended up working in a warehouse, Grandad Bob probably would have turned up to watch. While I was stacking boxes, he'd have been cheering me on, telling everyone I was the best warehouse worker there was. I was quick, with a wicked swerve and sidestep. When you see me in old home videos, I look like a wind-up toy or a spinning top. If it seems like I'm slightly out of control, that's because I was. My brain didn't always know where my legs were taking me. Luckily, my opponents didn't know either. I'd pop up all over the field as if by magic and cause mayhem. I'd beat a lot of tackles and scored a lot of tries. Dear old Grandad Bob did a lot of cheering. The problem was my size. Every week, I was the smallest player on the pitch. Some kids, the real lumps, were twice as big as me. Even I thought it looked quite comical. But when I say it was a problem, it only was for other people. It wasn't for me, and certainly not for Grandad Bob. During a game, he'd often overhear coaches and parents talking about me. That Burrow lad's very quick and very skillful, but he'll never make it, far too small. And Grandad Bob would pipe up with, "Just you watch, you'll have changed your mind by the end of the game," after I'd scored another hat-trick.